Welcome to your mini slow flow class. This is a preview of what you might see in our Monday slow flow class at DM Wellness and Yoga. So today we're going to start down on the mat on our back, and you'll see I've got a pair of blocks and a bolster. So those are my recommendations for props today if you have those available to you. Otherwise, you'll find ways to modify. They're just options. So go ahead and come down onto your back, allowing your feet to ground about hip width distance apart. Your hips and shoulders and head to just rest on the mat. So as we arrive here today, option to let your knees fall together, and you can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. Just taking a moment to settle into your rhythm, your natural pace. Feeling the breath come and go in and out a few times. And really allowing yourself to feel grounded. A lot of our slow flow practice involves being down on the mats and focusing on slow movement or gentle mobility. Just notice the points of view that are connected to the mat that feel supported here in this position. And then begin to gently separate your knees. Bring your arms by your sides and wiggle your heels in nice and close to your hips. So we're setting up here in the bottom of a bridge. And begin to press your feet into the earth. Lift your hips up. Find that squeeze of the glutes at the top. And then gently lower down. So as we start to take this bridge lift, we can start to connect this movement to your breath. So let the inhale pull your hips up into the air. And let your exhale gently lower your spine back down to the mat. Inhale, hips roll up. Exhale from the top of your spine down, roll back down to the mat. Inhale to lift and find space. Exhale to lower and ground. We got 3 more times. Your breath, your pace. This first connection to your breath and this movement. Just starting to feel out where your body is at today. Next time you come back down to the bottom, give your knees a hug into your chest and then gently rock forward. From here we'll come around to all fours, finding a tabletop shape. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, a neutral spine. And take a breath here. Breathe in to lengthen from your tailbone to the crown of your head, and then breathe out, let your hips sweep over to the right side and take your head to peek over the right shoulder. So we're just creating this C curve in the spine, opening up the left side and squeezing the right side ribs together. Inhale, come back to center your neutral spine. Exhale, hips sweep over to the left, gaze comes over the left shoulder. Feel this curve settle in on the other side. Start to take this with the breath. Inhaling to come and lengthen through center. Exhale, sweep it over to one side. Inhale, lengthen center. Exhale, squeeze through your side body. Inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time to each side, just slow and smooth here. Coming back to center, and a few breaths to find whatever organic movements serve you here. Maybe that's a pass through cow and cat, or a quick child's pose. Your option, no wrong or right way to move. Just getting settled into your body. And then we'll start to make our way to downward facing dog. So spread your fingers open, push into the earth, curl your toes under, and then send your hips up and back. Once you reach your dog, you can pedal out your feet, wiggle around. Find that sweet spot where you feel balance through the hands, through the feet. Breathing here to look back between your legs. One more breath in and out. And then bend your knees, look forward,
Slowly walk your feet up to the top of your mat, landing in a forward fold. So upper body is just a heavy weight dangling here. Breathe in to a halfway lift. Hands can connect along your legs as you lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Stretch your arms overhead, mountain pose. Exhale, we back bend. Elbows draw apart, chest rises. Your gaze look up. Inhale, come back to center, mountain pose. And then exhale, hands through the heart as you hinge at your hips and fold forward. Now have those blocks ready at the top of your mat if you have them. We'll breathe in at the bottom, find a halfway lift. And then exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back. Take a moment to wiggle into your low lunge. Right knee over the right heel. Left toes can keep wandering back as you lower your left knee down to the mat. So we're going to start in our kneeling lunge here. Option 2, keep the back toes tucked or untuck that foot. Go ahead and just walk your blocks in so that we have them handy. And as you rise up in the torso, I invite you to bring your hands onto your right thigh. Shoulders draw back and down. Just think about sinking the hips heavy, shifting forward a little bit. Good, so you can keep your hands on your thigh. You could even bring your hands to the blocks, or option to sweep the arms up overhead, finding crescent moon. Slight back bend as you look up. Exhale, bring your hands down, find the blocks, shift your hips back, right toes pop up, right heel anchors as we find seated half split. So keep pushing your hips back, hinge forward, leaning into your hamstring stretch. Finding a place where the weight coming down through your hands is as little as possible, just softening into this stretch. And then inhale, shift forward. Rock the blocks back up. We'll start to take the blocks to a lower setting just so they're more stable. You can bring your hands to the blocks. As you tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee and then give that left foot a little scooch forward because we took it so far back, we need it to be a little bit higher up. As we start to rise up to a high lunge, hands can start on your hips as you find stability and length through your spine. Breathe in, send your arms up, overhead. And then today, palms connect overhead. Option to find steeple mudra. As you exhale, side bend to your right. So this is going to challenge the balance, so don't take it too far this first time through. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands through the heart and down to the blocks. Bend into your back knee as you step forward, coming to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. Left foot stays where it is. Right foot travels back this time. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Taking those right toes back as your right knee lowers. So we're going to step back up in that kneeling lunge. So untuck the back toes if you'd like. And start to rise up through your torso. Hands can rest onto the left thigh. Take a moment just to draw the shoulders back and down to give your hips permission to sink and shift. Slow, steady breath. Option, hands to blocks, hands to thigh, or reaching all the way up to find a slight back bend and open chest. And then exhale, hands come down to find the blocks. Hips shift back, left toes pop up with your heel anchored. Push your hips back, lean forward, find your seated half split. Moving those blocks wherever is most comfortable to relax your arms and just breathe. Slowly preparing to take it forward, walk it out. Blocks can come back to that lower stable setting. As you tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee, and then adjust that back foot until you feel stable and solid in this low lunge, letting the thighs hug in towards center as you rise up to a high lunge. Arms can lift overhead, and then connect your palms or find steeple mudra. Breathing in to look forward, and then breathe out, lean it over, up and over to the left. Find that side bend. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands through the hearts, and then back down to your blocks. Bend into your right knee to launch forward, landing back in your forward fold at the top of the mat. From here, breathe into a halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, mountain pose. And then exhale, hands through heart center, hinge and fold. From here, gently reset to come down onto your back. And we're gonna bring that bolster with us on our way down here. So this is going to be here to support you in a little heart opener. So bringing the bolster lengthwise or pillows if you have at home, right behind you. And then have your blocks handy too. So in our slow flow class, we spend at least 20 minutes, if not closer to 30 minutes, winding down, finding longer held yin and restorative postures. So you're gonna lean back here today so that your hips are still grounded, but your spine and your head can be fully supported by the bolster. Now, if you'd like, legs can come long and you can find your rest here. Another option today is bringing the soles of your feet together, and then you can use the blocks to let the knees splay open in Baddha Konasana. The blocks just offer extra support so that we aren't going too far in that stretch. We want this to feel like a restorative, supported shape. So arms can come out, palms face up as you soften your body, relaxing into the supports of the bolster, of the blocks, of the earth. And maybe take a few cleansing breaths as you get settled in here. Breathing in through your nose and out through the mouth. Settling into an easy, restful place for a couple of minutes. Take 3 more easy breaths here. Notice if there's anywhere else you can relax. And then carefully start to guide your legs back in together. You can rock forward or roll off one side to carefully make your way back up to a comfortable seat, place to end our practice. Thank you for joining me to see what it's like to take a slow flow class. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop a comment in this video or reply back if you got this via email. Thanks.